Vishnu Maharaj. He's been practicing Krishna consciousness since more than 2 decades now. And he's a lover of Srimad Bhagavatam. We're grateful that he's visiting Amsterdam for the first time ever. Hope that he likes our association and comes back. Let's enthusiastically welcome him by loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. More louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Madanmohan Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Vraja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Om Ajnanaतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna Prabhus, Hare Krishna Matajis. It's very nice to see all of you today. I've just coming from a program, and I think I told the devotees at the program that um, in the places that I have traveled to um, around Asia and in other parts of the world, I think perhaps there are two places that has left the greatest impression on me. One of it is, of course, Radhadesh, where I'm coming from, and the other is actually Amsterdam. Um, it's not for anything, but it's because of the love and the reciprocation that I have received from the devotees. It has been so nice to be here because I feel that there are a lot of good humans here. Sometimes we get into too much of the technicality of devotion, of rituals, of practices. We tend to forget the basic human nature that is there in every living being. And this is something that I saw both in Radhadesh and Amsterdam, where you have people who are good and they are good hearted. There are many layers to people, but essentially what I saw here was that people who appreciate, people who encourage, and people who are very giving. I really want to thank all of you. You represent the community because this is the main temple. It's so nice to be. Today, we want to speak on this concept of relationships, and we want to speak of this thing of sheltering relationships. You will find that we speak about relationships, and you will find that people go towards relationships or want relationships because they are looking for some shelter in this world. When someone gets married, they want to get into that relationship essentially because they want some shelter. We don't call it out, but actually we are looking for shelter. When a child is born, the child immediately starts looking for shelter. And when we have friends, we are actually looking for shelter, right? If we feel insecure, you would call your friend, right? You wouldn't call your teacher because they would make you feel more insecure, right? And you maybe not share everything with your parents, right? Because they may not understand certain things. But you would call a friend who's like-minded, who commits the same mistakes and faults as you do. Why do you do that? You don't bow down to them, but you are actually looking for some shelter. So, we being receptacles to provide shelter to others is actually very important. And shelter doesn't mean you're going to come now and I'm going to give you beads and I'm going to start giving you a name and initiate you. That's not the case. Shelter can be provided by everyone. So, what we want to look at today very quickly is how to look for shelter and how to provide shelter, very importantly. And why do we need shelter? Because in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned there are certain qualities to every living entity in Kali Yuga. Vyasadeva tells us, Bhautikanam cha bhavanam, Shakti hrasham chatat kritam. Thank you, Prabhu. Bhautikanam cha bhavanam, Shakti hrasham chatat kritam. Ashaddadhana ni sadvan, durmedan hrashita yushaha. He says that everything in this material world will deteriorate. Now you see this mic stand? If you leave it for a few years, you can even oil it. You do whatever you want with it. It will deteriorate. There's no question about it. You have deities, you have this temple. We always say, right, it's transcendental, right? It's a spiritual world. But if you leave this place here for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years, and you don't do any renovation, and you expect the deities to take care of the place, we're in cuckoo's land, right? It will never happen. It will deteriorate. And just like matter, emotions, relationships will also deteriorate because that is the nature of this age. Because you know why? Energy deteriorates. When I used to be much younger, I just climbed up that staircase. I could have cleared it in a matter of seconds. I would have actually took 2 flights each time I put my foot. But now I was struggling because age has gotten up. And those who are elderly, you go up and you speak to them. Each step that some of them take may feel to them as though they're climbing a mountain. We will get to that stage. We will. Without a shadow of a doubt, we will get there. And when that happens, when we lose our energy, Vyasadeva is telling us in Bhagavatam, the first thing that we will lose is patience. Ashraddha dhanan, nisatvan, and faith. We'll lose it. The very body that we have put so much of faith in, when the energy is oozing out, is leaking, you will lose faith in it. You will feel that I may not be able to climb this staircase. But when you were 10, when you were 12, you had so much faith. This body, very casually, we don't even think whether the body will be able to take you. You just run. There's blind faith. But as the energy is leaking, what happens is you start losing faith in yourself. And when that happens, you start becoming impatient. So these two qualities enters the life of every human being when bhautikanam cha bhavanam, when the energy starts to leak. And when these things happen, we need proper shelter. We need proper guidance. In modern day, we are always telling everyone to become self-sufficient and to become independent. I'll tell you one thing, it's very important to be self-sufficient, to be independent. But without proper shelter, you cannot become self-sufficient, you cannot become independent. Everyone needs some level of shelter at each stage. So now, what shelter should we look for? When we go to work, we work very hard, right? We get all the scoldings from the bosses, or we scold our subordinates. We feel, they may be incompetent or we are incompetent, right? We're very, very tired. We come back home. Why do we come back home? Because I have nowhere else to go. Hope not. We are coming back home because it's our shelter, right? Roof over our head, shelter. We want a nice drink. But when we enter our homes, what do we do? Do we start sharing with our family members? Do we sit with them lovingly? Or do we just put the bag aside, turn on the switch, and the TV comes on? Or do we just switch on some player and start hearing some music? What is our shelter? What we choose as shelter is actually very important. And Bhagavatam tells us any shelter that we choose should not be a crumbling shelter. When you come back home and simply to escape all the problems that you have faced at work, if you take shelter of the TV, that is known as a crumbling shelter because the show will come to an end, right? And hardly anything we watch on the TV provides any shelter for us. It provides shelter only for that 2 hours or that half an hour, but hardly after that it provides any shelter. And many a times when we go through great difficulties, we feel that our spouse, our children, our home, our designation in the office, our bank balance, our net worth, all these things are actually going to provide shelter. Our scriptures tell us, Dhanani bhumau pashavascha goshte nari grihadvari janasmasane dehaschitayam paraloka marge dharmanugo gacchati jiva ekaha. It is mentioned that Dhanani bhumau, the bank balance, dhan, will remain in the bank. Bhumau, the land, right? No matter whether you are in a bungalow, whether you're in an apartment, whether you're in a hut, wherever you are, that property will remain. Dhanani bhumo pashavash. Pashavash means transportation. Whether you have a Toyota, you have a BM, you have a Porsche, it will remain in the car park, right? Wherever you parked the night before, it will only remain there, right? Pashavascha goshi. Nari grihadwari, right? Your spouse will come till the door. That's the most they can come. Grihadwari Janasmasane. Your relatives will follow you to the crematorium, right? And that is all. That is how far all these people that we have taken shelter of for so many years, the car, the bank balance, the spouse, the relatives, will only come up till those points that I just mentioned, right? Karmanugo gacchati jiva ekaha. But the soul that leaves the body will have to make its own journey. This is very important point. You don't need a scripture or a temple to tell you this. This from your own life experience of attending funerals. If you have not, maybe you should attend one, right? Everyone in any culture that you come from, you have seen this happen. In Singapore, we have a very strange way they have set up the crematorium. You go into the crematorium, everyone will be there, they put the body there, and then they will have a gallery where everyone stands. I don't know whether it's like that here. There is a glass panel, and everyone is looking at the body. And the body, right, moves through a travelator, right, and it goes into the incinerator. I don't know whether they are trying to poke, our pain even more, but it's very painful to watch it. It travels alone, but that's the reality, you see. So, what do we take as shelter in our life is actually very important. We should take shelter of someone and something that will follow us even beyond the crematorium, even beyond the doorstep, even beyond the car park, and even beyond the bank balance. So this is very, very important, right? Do we take Jai Shri Shri Gonita Ki? And these days also, shelter is taken in the form of our social media accounts. Not wrong to have them, but we take a lot of shelter in the number of likes that we get, in the number of views that we get, and our self-esteem and who we are as people is actually determined by those numbers. So, what do we take shelter of, and how do we take shelter? So, I will just speak one very short pastime that happened in Srimad Bhagavatam when, during the churning of the milk ocean, right, the demigods are defeated by the demons, and the demigods will actually be feeling very morose. And what they would do is they would discuss with each other, right? Mahendra Varunadayaha Nade Gachan Swayam Mantre Mantrayanto Vinishchitam. They will come together and they will discuss, right? This is what we all do. When we go through some trouble, what do we do? The first thing is Swayam. We will first start thinking. We will take shelter of ourselves, right? How to get out of this problem. Very natural, and it is the right thing to do. Mantrayanto Vinishchitam. Second thing is, if you cannot do it, you will go to a few persons, you will come together, and you will start discussing it. Hey, do you know how to get out of this? Right? Shall we discuss? Can we share notes? And what happens when we cannot find a solution? Then we go to someone who is more experienced. You see? And the demigods actually did that. This is a very, very important way that we actually find shelter. But in modern context, we are discouraged against this. You either find a solution yourself or you die without a solution. Never ask for help. That's not the way to be, actually. We must ask for help. If we were not meant to ask for help, each of us would be born into a country or a state, and we will be the only persons living there. But we are all born with people around us. It is very natural, it is very organic. It is not wrong to live as a community, and it is not wrong to ask for help. But who do we ask for help? In this episode, they select a person who is wise, who is an authority, and who will not cheat them. Very, very, very important. And who was that? Brahma. Because he was their creator, he was their father, right? They went right to the top. So, as spiritualists, this concept of accepting a spiritual authority is actually very, very important. Sometimes when we hear the word authority, we feel that, why should I accept an authority? I myself am an authority, right? Until the mosquito sits on your lap, right? And it starts biting you. Until then, we still keep thinking we are an authority. We don't know how to get rid of a mosquito, right? How do we think that we can solve so many problems in our lives? So everyone needs an authority. You don't need to tell a child that the mother is the authority in the house. It is very organic, it is very natural, right? So at this point in time, if we think we don't need an authority, we've always accepted authority, right? In the form of our parents, in the form of our family. So this is what they did. They first discussed, they first tried, they could not, they discussed, they applied their intelligence, and eventually they accepted an authority. This is the way that every living entity should seek shelter. And I'll tell you, if we do this, a lot of problems in our society, in terms of people feeling lonely, people feeling anxious, people having depression, it can be solved very, 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 very simply without forking out a single cent, right? Even without going to medicines. If we have this simple process of trying to think for yourself, of trying to discuss with your friends, real friends, and to seek out the authority. So this is the point that needs to be understood. But now they are now standing in front. of Brahma. Now, this is the point where we should all be interested of how to provide that shelter. Because we have people who will come, right? You're all people coming to the temple, and society will see you as people they should approach and they should ask spiritually related questions. So, what do we do, right? So, when demigods approach Brahma, what happened? Savilo Kendra Vaivadin, Ni Sadvan Vigata Prabhan, Lokan Amangalo Prayan, Ayata Asuran Vibuhu. So it is mentioned that Brahma, as the authority, looked over them. He looked at them. He was present with them. So Vilokendra Vaivadin means he is looking at them. He's present. It's not that Indra came and he said 2 minutes. He didn't do that. You know? And many times we do that. When someone comes to us, we are too busy doing so many other things. When our children come to us, are we on our phones? Are we distracted with something? Or are we actually looking over them and looking at them? It's a very simple thing. It may not even sound spiritual, you see, but the most spiritual things are the most practical things that we have to do in life. Being present. Brahma is the most busiest person in this entire creation. Why? Because he's the creator, right? His administrative responsibilities has no bounds. But when they came to him for help, he looked at them and he was present with them. This is very important. And when they asked him, my dear father, how do we come out of this? What did he do? Did he give them an answer? No. Nisham yaitat suragana. Right? What did he do? He adjusted his own mind first. Because Brahma did not want to cheat them. He did not want to give them an answer so that he looks like an authority. You see the point? Sometimes when people come to us, just to save our face, we'll give them an answer, whether we know it or not. We may not really be interested in trying to solve their problem, in trying to be there for them. It is more that you've asked me a question and I must have an answer for it. So what does he do? Samahitena manasa. He adjusts his own mind because he is getting overwhelmed. When people come to us, they are bringing their poison to us. Everyone has some form of poison in their life, which is why we suffer. Poison means not literal poison, right? Emotional, right? Mental, so many things. Baggage. When they come to us, we must consume that poison. If not, you're not able to help them because you need to put yourself in their shoes. So, what needs to happen? Samahitena manasa. We should first adjust our mind, be present, and be in a mental state to actually help them. And how did he do that? Samsmaran Purusham Param. He kept remembering Krishna. He kept chanting the holy names of Krishna. That stabilized his mind because they came to him as authority. But for Brahma, who is authority? It's Krishna. So this is a key point. Everyone who provides shelter also needs to seek a shelter. No man is an island. It is not that now someone comes to us, we think that we are independent, right? I know everything and I'm going to help you. It is all right for a leader or a person providing shelter to actually be vulnerable. And you will find the best example, right? The best leader in the world is actually a mother. Because if you look at a mother, the mother will never put up a show to the child. If a mother is vulnerable, the mother will show the child she's vulnerable. Have you seen your mothers get frustrated? We all have seen. But ultimately, she'll be there for you. Even if she's crying, she's screaming, she's shouting, she will give you something. And that is the first experience of leadership that any person has actually seen in their life. And same thing Brahma is doing. Samsmaran Purusham Param. He knows that he is also struggling. But what does he do? He remembers Krishna. And the moment he remembers Krishna, Uvachot Fullavadano, Devansa Parahan, Devansa Bhagavan Paraha. What happens is he starts smiling. Just imagine if someone comes to you for help and you tell them, yes, I'll help you. Right? You look so morose, You're going to drop dead anytime. They're probably thinking, okay, I came to the wrong place, right? We should be happy. We should be lively. We should be approachable. But how do we get that? We should be connected to the fountainhead of happiness, and that is Krishna. So, first thing, if we want to provide shelter for others, we need to take shelter. And who do we take shelter of? We take shelter of Krishna through his names. And then what happens is we become enlivened, we become cheerful, and we give some instruction, we give some shelter to others. But what did Brahma do? Again, he did not give them immediately a solution saying that kill the demons or I will help you fight them. He tells them that now is the time, my dear demigods, that you have to change your lifestyle. It's a very important point. He tells them that if you really want to come out of this trouble, you have to shift your way of thinking. And he tells them, now you are thinking very passionately, but I'm requesting you as a solution to enter into the mode of goodness. There are three modes. What are the three modes? Very good, right? Goodness, passion, ignorance. Which is better? Passion, ignorance? Very bad? So you're thinking now. Every mode is required. If you don't touch the mode of ignorance, you cannot sleep. You try being in the mode of passion, thinking about your work, and you go to sleep. How did that work out for you? You can't sleep because you're still in creative mode, right? You're still thinking, very passionate. You must touch the mode of ignorance if you want to sleep. When you want to wake up, you have to touch the mode of goodness because it's fresh, it wakes you up. You go to work, try going to work in the mode of goodness. Stand in front of your boss. It's all good. It's all good. Everything is going to work out. He'll say, very good. He'll sign your termination letter, he'll give it to you. Right? It's not going to work. We have to touch the mode of passion. Passion means creative energy. But in Kali Yuga, we have forgotten to switch off and switch on. The moment we come back, we're still in the mode of passion, which is why we can't sleep. We don't touch ignorance. And when we're waking up, we're still in ignorance. How many of you have gotten up and wanted to go back to sleep again? You feel even more tired than the night before after sleeping. So we do not know the skill of moving from ignorance to the mode of goodness. So now Brahma is telling them the solution, my dear demigods, is to learn the art. Now you are in the mode of ignorance and passion, right? Ignorance destroys. Passion is on the way to destruction because the more I use this mic stand, what happens to it? It will deteriorate faster, right? Because you are using it. But then you need to take it to maintenance mode at times. And what is maintenance mode? The mode of goodness. So he says, now you guys are broken. You have been slaughtered by the demigods. You are like a machine, right? You have been overused. Come to rest first. How to rest? Enter into the mode of goodness. And he says that is the meaning. Ayam chatasmai stitipalana kshanaha. Sattvam jushanasya bhavaya dehinam. Bhavaya means to repair, to develop. Many things in our lives, actually, without us realizing, we have gone through a lot of emotional stress, mental, even bodily, because we're using the body. It is always good to enter maintenance mode, just like a machine. Our emotions, our mind, and our heart needs to enter maintenance mode. And what is that mode? The mode of goodness. Now you may ask me, what is this magical thing? What pill should I take to enter the mode of goodness? You can't take a pill. There's no pill for this. As I said, it's mindset and it's lifestyle. And I'll just tell you two things that you need to change: what you eat, what you hear. If you change these two things, it is very easy to enter into the mode of goodness. If we eat things which are very passionate, always very spicy, always very salty, right? always, I want to go to a 3 Michelin star restaurant to eat, will always be in the mode of passion. And if we keep hearing criticism of others, if we keep hearing gossip, if we keep hearing and watching only the television, and if we're always on social media, we can never be in the mode of goodness. You can do certain things, but always have a mode of regulation for all of this. So once you enter that, he tells them, then you start getting repaired. You see the point. And what does he do after that? He gives them the instruction, he holds their hand, and he immediately takes them. Vrajama, I forget that verse, but Vrajama means walk. He walks, he takes them to this place known as Shvetadvip, where Lord Vishnu is situated. So what is he doing? He's taking them from darkness to light. This is another important point. Those who provide shelter must be capable enough to move a person from darkness to light. So Vrajama means walk. So when we are in trouble, we also must walk. We cannot just sit in that same place. Because if you do the same things over and over again, you cannot expect a different result. You have to change something. So you have to walk. Vrajama. So he walked. So where do we walk to? Where did they walk to? They walked to Brahma. So we have to walk to our authority. We have to walk to the person that we trust. We should not just keep to ourselves. That is not the way we take shelter or we give shelter. And the other way is, are we walking to the Bhagavad Gita? Do we walk across to our study room and pick up the Gita? We have to walk. Do we walk to the study room to pick up the Bhagavatam? Do we walk to where our chanting bag is hanging? Do we walk to pick it up? Do we walk to the altar? We have to move, because these things are actually what you call shelter that do not crumble. They do not crumble in any instance. So we must have at least that much energy. If we are in trouble, we should walk. If others come to us with trouble, we should take them to that place. It is not that all the solution that they require must always come from us. There's this materialistic concept. Some people will do things in such a way that they have to be successful through your help. Right? That means I help you and you should be very successful. But the main point is not the success of that person. I helped you, so you should be successful. But if you become more successful than me, then I'm not happy. This is the material way of thinking. But the spiritual way of thinking is that you must become better than me. And I will help you. And if I can't help you, I will get someone to help you. This is devotee. The devotee's focus is not that it's on himself or herself. It is on the subject. This is where we move from the mode of exploitation to service. When someone comes to us for help, the last thing we should do is to actually exploit them for our own ego. That is the most obnoxious thing that we can actually do. The thing we have to do is that, my dear sir, my dear ma'am, how can I serve you? This is the only question. And if I can't serve you, if I can't solve it, I will make sure I find the answer. And it may not actually come from me. So he takes them. He takes them to a space where they are able to find this shelter. How long do we have, Prabhu? 12 minutes. Okay. I'll wrap up in 5. Then we can open up for question. And what was this shelter that he took? Shvetadvip. But that person in Shvetadvip must have a certain quality, right? If not, why would I just randomly bring them to some men, right? So they identified a person, and Bhagavatam gives us the quality of this person. Namostu tasma upashanta shaktaye. First quality. Upashanta shaktaye means that person who is known as Lord Vishnu is completely not restless. He's not restless. This is an important point if we want to be shelter. We should not be restless. Always finding something, always doing something. One should not be like that. One should be stable, one should be rooted, one should be wise, one should be calm. So not restless. Upashanta shaktaye. And why? Svarajalabha pratipuritatmane. That person had nothing to gain. Nothing to gain. Very important. If we are going to provide shelter to someone, we should not gain from the person. Absolutely, there should be no gain. And I'll tell you one thing, Prabhus and Matajis, if you forget everything that was said today, when you are looking for a shelter, be very, very careful. Because now in the bazaar of social media, there are too many shelters or apparent shelters. You see them dressed in a certain way, you feel that, oh, the color of the turban is nice, this is a shelter. And then you see the YouTube, oh, this person has 500,000 likes, he is the ultimate shelter, right? You know, someone in Instagram posted a photo of an egg, and that egg has the most number of views in Instagram history. Now take shelter of the egg. So be very careful. Be very careful, right? It's an egg. It's just an egg, Prabhu. He's surprised. It's just an egg. Maybe I can share it with you, right? That's what I've heard. It's just an egg, and it has so many likes and so many views. Egg. Okay, maybe my pronunciation is not right. Egg. EGG. Right? Yeah, egg. Right? So it's just that, right? And try taking shelter of that. So never ascribe numbers and popularity to solid shelter. You see? Then we are cheated. Sweet words, eloquent words, those are not shelter. Shelter means that person should not benefit from you in any way. He should not be seeking out. And that is Krishna. Nothing to gain from anyone. Upashanta Shaktaye Swarajya Labha Pratipuri Tatmane. Because why? He has already achieved everything. He is so full that you cannot give him anything and he cannot gain anything from you. Such a person is like wind. The last line of the verse says that he's like wind. The wind moves. Where there's flowers, it will take the fragrance of the flower. But by the time it moves to the next street, it smells differently already. It has already dropped the fragrance, completely detached. You see? These people are simply moving in society to help others, like the wind. The wind dries things up, it evaporates, it helps everyone, it cools you down. But the wind will never say that because of me, you are now happy. And none of you can claim that the wind belongs to you. Now, do you see the quality of shelter? The shelter doesn't want to belong to anyone, neither does it want to own anyone. Because sometimes, in the name of love, we hold people, we crush them in our hole. Because it's not love, it's attachment. You must only come to me. But if we really love someone, we don't crush them. We simply we simply hold them. We're not attached. Attachment means you crush. Love means you just hold them enough so that they get enabled and they get empowered. So these are just few points I wanted to share, on how we seek shelter and how we should give shelter. It's very relevant. One thing you must understand that both Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam should never be in the air. It should always be on the ground. If we cannot present the Gita in a way that serves people's purposes in their everyday life, then there is no relevance to scripture. Right? It's not about quoting verses. It is not about speaking esoterically. It is about fitting the teachings into the lives of practical everyday life. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Sorry for pronouncing it wrongly. Are you going to scold me? Thank you, Prabhu.
Nice class. I was just wondering, maybe you can give an answer how to deal with the situation if you need to accept authority, but the authority is making mistakes, and it's not perfect.
Excellent question. It's loaded, but it's a good question. Right? There are two types of authority. One is an administrative authority, one is a spiritual authority. So we have to classify them as such. Administrative authorities have to be followed whether you like them or not. I come from a country, right? I hope no one's recording this. Please don't. Oh, you are? Okay. Uh, I love my country. No, but I do come and I really love that system. You may not agree with me, but it has worked out, right? They have a system where if you discredit the government, right, and you blaspheme them, they can issue you a notice, right? And you know why they do that? Why they do that? Because every time you vilify a person of authority, you are discrediting them. And when their credibility is lost, they are not able to serve the greater society. Of course, if they are lost, everyone has to complain. Then there is some revolution. But just because one or two person throw something at someone, we should not take it wholesale. You see, if everyone discredits an administrative authority, society cannot function. So this point has to be understood, Prabhu. More than our good, to keep peace amongst the greater society and not just simply our purpose, it is best that we follow the administrative authority. If there is still fault, we have to go through the proper channels to take it up, not simply fire some blank from somewhere, because we're not helping ourselves, we're not helping the authority, and we are not helping others who are connected with the authority. So this is the point, the right channel for administrative authority. Okay, and they are also humans, right? So this we have to understand. Now, when it comes to spiritual authority, that's a whole different ball game. That we have to be inspired. No one should be forced to accept a spiritual authority they are not inspired by. If you see someone having so many faults at some point and you cannot have faith in them, my suggestion, speak to them, speak to those who are connected with them, not to criticize them, to understand the context. But if your heart says, I've lost my sense of trust in that person, my suggestion is you should follow your heart. Because no matter how hard you try to convince yourself, if trust is broken, it's very difficult to mend it. You see? But it should not become a shopping center that now this person, oh, then this person. 2 years later, no, this person is greater. Then we are lost. There must be some fixation, right? So I hope that helps, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anyone else has questions? Yes, Prabhu.
First of all, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming here and giving us.
Thank you.
I like all of your points, but one of the points particularly I like very much. So I'll say my comments first.
Of course.
About initial point that you mentioned about the love and the basic human nature, and not the technicalities of spiritual path. And the second is about the authority. So my question is about, for example, from the day when we are born, we look for shelter, as you mentioned, and mother, most probably is the first shelter. We take a lot of decisions in our life. For example, in school, work, and a lot of places. So some decisions are can be changed, and some can hang on till death. My question is, if you make a mistake in your life, it could be, the cost of changing that shelter could be so high. So do you have any general recommendation or solution?
As in, because of your mistakes, you change shelter.
When we make a mistake, look for a shelter.
Okay, okay.
And if you want to make the changes to that shelter, and the cost of changing that shelter is too high, is there any recommendation?
So you have to first understand what you need. The starting point is always what you require. Shelter means you need something, right? And if your need is so great, then you have to go the extra mile, even if it's painful, to change that shelter. But we cannot change the shelter just because the shelter does not uh, address our whims. Sometimes we go to someone, we ask them a question. If they don't give us the answer we are looking for, we feel that, oh, this person is not good. Then we go all over until the person gives us the answer we are looking for. Actually, we already made up our mind, right? That is not the way to look for shelter. Shelter means that really what is good for me. If a person is chastising, reprimanding me, but it is good for me, but it is not what I want, but it is in my best interest, 95% I would say you take that shelter and don't leave. But if that person is completely leading you wayward and it is not aligned with your goals and it is completely disrupting you, take time, take energy, spend the time to change the shelter. Because we don't have time, Prabhu. Right? We cannot lose time. We cannot waste our time. But be very careful. You must be decisive and seek consultation with others before making that move. Ah, yes. Yes, yeah. Then if you need to change, you change it, right? But be very careful. His question is very important, but it's very intricate, right? Never ever make your decisions based on what someone else has said. Spiritual life is not about voting. Because 10 people like this person, he's my authority. Only one person likes him, he's not my authority. It doesn't go that way. You follow the crowd in spiritual life, I'll leave it at that, right? You read, you research, you study, you be convinced, and you take up the path. Then it will stay with you forever. But don't be too whimsical. Always keep thinking. Don't do that. Once you have selected, once you have decided, you stay with it, right? I hope that's okay. Hare Krishna. Any final question, or we done, Prabhu?
You ready?
Okay, then we're done. Okay. So thank you very much for patiently hearing. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki. Sure. Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, it was a long drive, long drive. Jiva Jayo Jayo Gora Chande Aroti Kashobha. Janavi Tatavane Jagamana Loba Jivadaki Nenita Hechan Bame Gadadara Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasachhatradara Jiva bosi ache goracha Ratna simhasane Aarti koreno Brahma Adideva gane Jivanara Hari Adi Kori Chamara Dhulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Bashu Goshadigaya Jiva Shankha Baje Ganta Baje Baje Karatala Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala Jai Gunitai Shankha Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Shankha baje ganta baje madhur 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 baje Gorangera rotik shobha jagajana manalobaha Ajagajana Manaloba Ajagajana Manaloba Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Nitai Gora Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Jiva Bahu Koti Chandrajini Vadana Ujvala Gala dese banamala Kore jalamala Jiva Shiva Shuka Narada Preme Gadagada Bhakti Vinoda Dekhe Gorara Shampada Jiva Jayo Jayo Gora Chande Arotika Shobha जय गौरा निताय गौरा निताय गौरा निताय जय गौरा निताय निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। चैतन्य हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Stotra Sata Sri Srimati His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Stotra Sata Sri Srimati His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. नाम आचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासति गौर भक्तवृंद की. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की. वृंदावन भूमि धाम की, मथुर धाम की, गंगा माई की, यमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, समवेद भक्त वृंद की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र युग धर्म की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Singhayam Prahlada Ladha Dhayine Prahlada Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Hiranyakashipu Shilatankanakalaye
ito na shingo parato na shingo, ito na shingo parato na shingo, yato yato yamita to na shingo, yato bahe na shingo, ridaye na shingo, Narasimha Madhim Sharanam Prapadye Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashapum Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupam Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Karakamalavare Nakam Madhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupam Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Madhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashapum Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupam Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Rakamalavare Naka Madhuta Shringa Hiranyakashipum Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jai Jaya Nrsingadev, 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 Jaya Nrsingadev, Jaya Nrsingadev, 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 Jaya Nrsingadev, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaura Haribo, Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaura Haribo. Shri Lakshmana Singh Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Nitya Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna. Bit more louder. Let us sing the whole mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Let's thank His Grace Madanmohan Prabhu for his wonderful lecture, also for his visit. We hope that you're happy, Prabhu, and you come back to Amsterdam. See your another home away from Singapore. So please come back. Let's thank Madanmohan Prabhu by loudly chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. His Grace Madanmohan Prabhu ki jai. See a lot of new faces who come for the first time. Please raise your hands, and we have small gift from Shri Prabhupada to all of you. Please give them these gifts. Everybody gets one book. Get your gift. Please shout out your name. Okay? Yes. Please keep your hands raised and tell your name when you get your book. Hare Krishna. Manisha, Hare Krishna. Aditya, Hare Krishna. Arnav, Hare Krishna. Soham, Hare Krishna. Anirudh, Hare Krishna. Madhusudan, Hare Krishna. Narendra, Hare Krishna. There's one more thing here. Arnav, Hare Krishna. There is one here. We have more. Arav, Hare Krishna. Anyone else? First timers? First time also. Here. Hare Krishna. What's your name? Huh? River. Hare Krishna. Very nice. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for the first time visit to ISKCON Amsterdam. We hope that you'll make this also as your home and keep coming. Today's wonderful Sunday feast was prepared by our Lady Stat devotees, Jayashri Mataji and Jayashri. Who was your team? I see Ashutosh inside. He's helping now. Okay, let's thank all these devotees for a wonderful Sunday feast. Prasadam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Deity worship team. Today's worship was done by Vrajrani Mataji. We have a big team of devotees. Ashtasaki Mataji, Vrajrani, Prana Mataji, Premalata Mataji, Janakinath Prabhu, Jagdish Prabhu, Muktidhatri Mataji, Rangaradhika Mataji, sometimes Ziti Mataji, Pratap Rudra Prabhu. So they all put a lot of efforts in taking nice care of our presiding deities here, Shri Karunita Gaurachandra Bhagavan. Let us thank all these devotees for putting their lives in serving the deities every day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. We have, this is going to be an important announcement we are working on. We need to see how will this manifest, but we are working on from the management to keep the temple open 7 days a week, at least in the evening, Gaurarati. And of course, no instruments because we have a neighborhood which is residential here. So we're working on it, and very soon we'll let you know what will be the schedule. So the biggest problem hurdle we have here is that we're only open Sundays for full program for public, and Tuesdays we had dinner clubs. Fridays we have on and off programs sometimes. But going forward, we are hoping that we'll be able to open every day. Every day people can come in, at least in the evening, and we'll have Gaur Arati together. Mild one, but still. That will be announced when we have the whole structure figured out and the deity worship team sort of in order for doing it. Announcement. Biggest announcement of the year, or maybe for last many years. Every week we come here, every festival we come here, we were praying to our deities, Shri Karunata Gaurachandra, that ISKCON Amsterdam have its own building. We don't have it yet, but yesterday, not today, right? Today we have sent an offer for a building. So that's in Outhorn, and it's a church. Um, we will be, there are some constraints still, but if it works out, it's not too far. There is a direct tram, one tram from here, and right in front of Amstel River, and very scenic location. So today we can make a very targeted, specific prayer, also targeted towards a building. Our dear Prana Mataji was instrumental in getting this process up to now. She was beyond instrumental in pushing for it. We have been looking at this building since almost last 1 year, but somehow it was on and off the radar. And when we put Pranamataji in the project, she was like, okay, let's start working on it. And then it has reached to a point now wherein we have already had one round of communication with the Kemente. We have worked with an architect to get the building restructured as per our plan, what all we want to have it. So that will be submitted to the Kemente, and they need to approve for it. We need to raise, of course, a lot of money, which we will talk later, even if we get our offer accepted or after the negotiation phase, let's say. And a few other technical constraints which are there. But when we started these prayers, many people were coming to me and telling that, yeah, what other than just praying, what are you guys doing, and just what will it do, just praying for it. We need to really understand that prayers have their own strength, and when devotees come together, we offer our sincere hearts. Now, please know this building may work out, may not work out. It's the first time we have actually taken a step wherein we have went and uh, actually put forward an offer. Um, if it works out, it's great. Otherwise, also it's great. Krishna has a bigger plan, anyways, and our position is always anyway to just go and seek the blessing, shelter from Krishna, and it's up to Krishna what he wants to do later. So let's please continue doing these prayers, and let's practice it right now. Please close your eyes. We're trying to put it on the screen. Okay, just okay, few more minutes then, so that we can actually see it, and then we can pray for it. Sorry, we're not fully prepared for it. It just happened today, and yeah. Vivek, you got it already? Yeah, here. This is the building. That's the Amstel River. Yeah. So there are a lot of good things and a lot of constraints, of course, but we need to figure out how everything will come together, and we'll see if this becomes ISKCON Amsterdam, if we can call this as our home, and Shri Karunatay Gaurachandra's home, where we also belong. Anyway, let us pray to our deities. This is the place. If they want, they will arrange everything, of course. So all of us with one sincere heart, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Shri Shri Karunatay Gaurachandra Bhagwan ki jai. This festival was sponsored by Yogamaya, Plavanita Mataji, and one more. Who else? Kamalakant Prabhu. Kamalakant Prabhu. So thank you all very much for your contribution. Let us thank these devotees for sponsoring our festival. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. One of our sure. One of our temple's acquaintance came today, and then they made a request to pray for one of their friends who left the body. The name was Mimi, it seems. So let's pray for Mimi and her onward journey. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri here? Okay. Yes, Jai Shri, come on. Yes.
No, like, I'm loud enough. So today we are actually celebrating two beautiful birthday. Two devotees. First of all, Mukti Dati Mataji. So please let's sing for her, and also.
The altar is closed. We'll sing afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah. Who else?
And Plavanita.
We'll do our meditation. We'll close the altar and then we'll sing.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Just maybe put it. Yeah. Just yes. Hare Krishna. So please close your eyes. Let us do a quick Vrindavan meditation. See, my dear devotees, this is the place where Shri Karunatya Garuchandra are there, and they have come here, the brothers, to give us all this amazing, beautiful, experiential knowledge of love between Shri Radha and Krishna, and that's experienced in its highest essence by service, and that's what is Vrindavan Dham. So if you can just understand that Vrindavan means is a place where everyone together is serving Krishna without envy, and that's the definition of Srimad Bhagavatam. So let us try to focus on this aspect, that we all come together, we serve Krishna without any envy and cooperation. We suddenly create Vrindavan Dham. So we keep singing and we try to meditate on this. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Radhe Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madanmohan Shri Govinda Natha Madanmohan Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madanmohan Shri Govinda Natha Madanmohan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan 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 Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan Shri Govinda Madana Mohan Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Karnataka Garuchandra Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.